afternoon. Hi. How is everyone today? Have you ever thought about the condition of your heart? What is the condition of your heart? So much depends on our heart. My name is Wendy. I'm with Dream Big Today, and this is my new nugget. Today is September 5th, 2024, and I want to look at Ecclesiastes today. As I was reading through this, I got to be with Elizabeth this morning and during the Bible study, and it kind of opened my eyes to some new things. And as I pondered on it throughout this morning, I've really come to see that everything throughout today's reading, Old Testament and New Testament, all of it, everything is about the condition of the heart. Everything comes back to the condition of the heart. So let's look at Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 1. It says, "As dead flies cause even a bottle of perfume to stink, so a little foolishness spoils great wisdom and honor." And when I read that, I thought, wow, it could be a little teeny tiny dead fly, and it's going to cause the whole perfume to stink. And I thought even small things have consequences. We have to be very careful of everything we say, everything we do. We have to search our heart in every situation. We have to sift through our thoughts and our feelings before we speak. I mean, all of it matters, because even a little teeny bit of foolishness, it says a little foolishness spoils great wisdom and honor. A little bit of foolishness can ruin your good reputation. It could ruin a relationship. It could ruin friendships. And I mean, it could just cause so much damage if we are not careful in all that we say and do. And it's a condition of the heart. Because as we seek God, He refines us. He harnesses our tongues and our hearts and our thoughts. And I mean, He kind of reins us in, helps us to recenter on Him, and helps us to see things from a different perspective. And the Holy Spirit will literally give us words to speak, and when to speak, when not to speak, when to act, when not to act. But it's conditioned on our heart. And if we are in relationship with the Lord, if we have a heart for God and we follow the Holy Spirit. As I was reading that, though, I also had a second kind of a connotation that occurred to me, and it was that we have to also be careful of who we are around. The one bad apple can spoil the bunch, is what came to my mind when I read that. So not only I would just say that when our heart's in the right place, we want to be with like-minded people who also have hearts for God. And so when we are around the bad apple, we tend to try to move away instead of become like them, It's a heart condition. And then down verse 4, if your boss is angry at you, don't quit. A quiet spirit can overcome even great mistakes. Again, a heart issue. Do we have pride? Are we willing to be humble? Are we willing to submit? Are we willing to be quiet? Then we can jump down to verses 8, 9, and 10. Oh, this was fun for me this morning. It says, when you dig a well, you might fall in. When you demolish an old wall, you could be bitten by a snake. When you work in a quarry, stones might fall and crush you. When you chop wood, there is danger with each stroke of your axe. So I started looking at these things one by one, and I thought, okay, I understand that there's practical applications for all of these things, but there's also spiritual implications that occurred to me. And I think that, of course, the Holy Spirit, kind of guided me on it. And it's when you dig a well, you might fall in. And I thought about to dig a pit. And that's what it says in the King James Version, is to dig a pit. And when you dig a pit, it's a heart issue. You're basically setting a trap for someone. You're setting someone up for failure or for disaster. And Solomon's saying, be careful because you might fall in. And when we have a corrupt heart and we're trying to set traps, dig pits for other people, then because we have that wicked mindedness, it would be easy for us to just fall into, when you demolish an old wall, you could be bitten by a snake. I thought, if our hearts, demolish a wall. So when we demolish a wall, it has different implications. But I thought, when we tear something down, even if it's a refining of our heart, there might be skeletons that come out of the closet, that we have to deal with. But if we're attacking someone else, that repercussion also could come back on us. And I read a commentary on it where it says a transgressor's payment, basically it said a transgressor's payment is always bad. And so if we are attacking someone, if we are going against someone, trying to tear down their walls or whatever it is, then we may let out some bad things upon ourselves. But also, the heart thing, as we are moving with God, if we are starting to tear down the walls of our heart, those bad things come out and we have to deal with them. And thank goodness the Lord makes it easier for us, so there's that condition of the heart. When you work in a quarry, stones might fall and crush you. And I thought, well, that's true. But I also thought, when you work in a quarry, so where am I spending my time and my effort? Where am I working and putting myself? Am I putting myself and spending my time and efforts on bad things or dangerous things? Because they will fall and crush us if we do. And then when you chop wood, there is danger with each stroke of your axe. Now, I'm very much into symbolisms in the Old Testament, and so automatically when I read that, I thought wood throughout the Bible symbolizes salvation. We see it with Noah's Ark, and we see it with the cross that Jesus died on. We see it in the Ark of the Covenant. Just wood symbolizes salvation. And so when you chop wood, there is danger with each stroke of your axe. And I thought, if we chop at the wood, our salvation, if we are continually bashing against the Lord and we're fighting against him and we just keep chopping and chopping and chopping at it, there's going to be danger in every stroke. And eventually that wood's going to be broken and we will have destroyed it by our own volition. It's a heart condition again. Where's our heart? Do we get on the ark to be saved, or do we chop away at it? Using a dull axe requires great strength. So sharpen the blade. Of course, Elizabeth talked about that this morning. It was so good. But I think about, again, where is our heart? Are we sharpening our faith? Are we sharpening our skills in the Lord? And are we sharpening fine-tuning our heart with God? Because it's a continual thing, we have to continually be moving in with God. Anyway, I could just go on and on and on. And so I just encourage you, as you read through all of these things, just kind of start thinking about, where is my heart? And Lord, like Elizabeth says, Lord, search my heart. Because we want to be able to get on that raft of salvation, and we want to be able to reap the good rewards that God has promised us. And every situation is a heart issue, and we see it all through here. So I just encourage you to just keep seeking God and just keep searching your heart and let him search your heart, and just love each other. Love the Lord, love each other. And this is my new nugget. And